Hello.
Hello.
And welcome back to our little void.
Yeah, welcome back.
We have some more pumped up tea for you guys.
Ooh, do I have tea this week?
So if you have made it this far, welcome back. Thank you for sticking around with us for another week. And if you're new around here, hi, hello. We're only 2 episodes in, so you should check out the first one and see how we did, and then come back here and watch this one again.
Yeah. And enjoy our work in progress setup. See, we're in a new spot this week, and then maybe next week we'll have something different. But then the week after, we will definitely have something different.
Yeah, we are definitely going to have something different because right now we're just working off of the land of what we have, and I am going to be spinning around like crazy on this chair, so I'm going to have my leg be the little blocker here, but
I got mine pretty good. Anyway.
We do have another recap of Vanderpump Rules for you, but first we figured we'd go over just a little bit of tea that we've been just experiencing throughout the past week.
I figured every week before we recap the episode, we come in and see what the universe dropped upon the Vanderpump Rules world this week. Okay, so I have pages. It's one page. It's not pages.
Oh,
really dramatic here.
Oh, wait! Before we move on, by the way, we're on Patreon now.
Woo!
Because we're just a couple of poor girls just looking to do some fun things that we like to do. So if you're able to donate to the cause, it's only $5 a month, and you get to see a little extra bonus content. So. There were a lot of bloopers that you guys are seeing on YouTube right now that you will not get to see unless you join the Patreon. So go and join our Patreon.
And there's going to be a lot. All right. Now, tea of the week. This is not in order. It's literally just in order of what I saw on my TikTok and my Instagram, on the subreddits, all that stuff. Schwartz and Sandy's being banned from VPR.
I think it was a great call.
I agree. I agree.
I think Schwartz and Sandy's could have had so much potential for this season.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I know that that's what they spent all of this time building up for. They just wanted another restaurant to add to their repertoire.
They could have ended up having staff be part of the show.
But then, Sandoval happened, and Tom just felt the need to continue to tarnish the reputation. In the restaurant business, reputation truly is everything, and I think that we're really seeing that firsthand because once the affair kind of broke out and Tom Sandoval was exposed for being a dick, and it's funny because he always was a dick, he's really outdicked himself this time. So So listen, I feel bad for the people who also have to suffer the consequences of his actions, but listen, I get it at this point.
Schwartz not being able to have his livelihood, one part of his livelihood on the show, but I think it was a great move by Greg to just fuck that. No. All right, next on our agenda here, speculative. Let me preface that this is all speculation. Billie Lee moves into Sandoval and Ariana's house while she is in New York.
Yeah, I think this is kind of crazy. And what I continuously think of every time I hear this rumor is when Sandoval was asked, why wouldn't you move out? His response at the after show last week was, because she would have somebody move in and then I'm the one who pays the bills. So his shtick this season is that Ariana has not been paying for her half of the bills, which I really don't fucking believe one bit.
I get into that later because that was kind of fucked.
So if it is true that Billie Lee ended up moving into the house, I find that to be very funny because he does have quite the way of projecting.
He absolutely cannot afford that house by himself. Oh, hell no. Hell no. The minute she moved out to go to New York, he absolutely was going to have to rent the room or something. So, but it also, Billie Lee, he was speculated to have and had an affair with or be sleeping with.
I know, they're really not doing much to help this cause here.
No. She was the only one, immediately post-scandal that was, riding his dick real hard. Not to be crass. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Anyway. Speaking of Ariana in New York, some jazz hands for our girl in her first week, bringing in more money than the show has seen in its 27 years on Broadway. According to, I think it was Broadway.com, Chicago had its best non-holiday performance week in the show's 27-year history, grossing in, as of the 4th, $939,177.40.
That's a lot of money.
All because of Ariana Maddix. And I think that's freaking insane. That's great for her. It's great for Broadway. It's great for Chicago. Chicago's a great show. If you haven't seen it, I've seen it like 3 times.
Broadway, I feel like, was really needing it too, especially after the long hiatus they took, post-COVID. And, you know.
That's insane. Almost $1 million. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's huge. So congrats to Ariana.
Congrats to Ariana. And if you haven't seen the video clips of her performing, it's on our Instagram. Well, it wasn't our Instagram story. Well, it's gone now. I say that like it's going to be up by the time you guys see this episode. Ignore me. It's on the internet. ABC recorded it. It looks like it comes from ABC. I was looking on the TikTok.
Oh shit. We're gonna have to watch that.
Yes. But she sounds incredible. She looks incredible. Like Sheena said on the after show today on Watch What Happens Live, she performed great. So I think that's fantastic. That's some very nice news. That's one piece of nice news. The next on our agenda, Sandoval has a new girlfriend. Supposedly. Model Victoria Lee Robinson, who dated Leonardo DiCaprio.
So I might have a very unpopular opinion on this, but
Why are you dating that man? That's my opinion.
The truth is I am dating Leonardo DiCaprio. Max is just a cover-up.
Oh, I was talking about Sandoval.
Oh.
I think any of us would date Leo if we had the opportunity. I meant Sandoval.
Well, actually, so here comes the actual unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I feel like he might be a wee bit washed up. Both Sandoval and Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't know about Leo. His new movie looked incredible. I haven't watched it yet. It's on my watch list.
I just feel like, now that we're fully aware of the fact that he doesn't really date anybody older than 25, minus Gigi Hadid.
Wait, he dated Gigi Hadid?
For like a 5-minute span, give or take. Very briefly. But, listen, I just don't see the appeal anymore.
No, in either one of them.
Well, yeah, I never saw the appeal in Sandoval either way. But, Leo, of course, like Titanic Leo, Inception Leo, Shutter Island Leo even.
Inception Leo. Oh, that movie is incredible.
I feel like he just doesn't.
He's not aging well.
Yeah, like he's not.
No,
because he's always constantly going out. He's partying.
Yeah, he's like a more famous version of Jax Taylor, like continuously just like out. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, speaking of girlfriends, he has a speculative girlfriend, Miss Victoria Lee, only to be seen earlier this week with a girl in a bar that is not Victoria.
What did it take, like 24 hours for him to be seen with another woman? You can't make this shit up.
No. And then I think it was like the day after he was bringing flowers to her. Victoria, why are you dating this man?
Remember when he said he wasn't going to cheat on another partner that way? Well, I guess he found a new way to do it.
That way. The way he did it was exactly how he's always done it. You think that's any different than them going on boys' trips? It is not any different than all of their little boys' trips.
He did get caught with Rachel in the Abbey.
Oh, scandalous. That's right. About that. All right, next on our list. Speaking of Rachel, you're just segueing so beautifully into my list and you don't even know it. Their calls, according to her podcast, their phone calls at her mental health center. She was only allowed. So okay, I multiple points on this. The first one, Sandoval, apparently he would get mad at her if she wouldn't call him all the time, and I think this coincides with whatever their downfall is, because he just said tonight on the episode that he was in love with her. And I think him not being able to control the situation and control whatever narrative is going on in her head makes him mad. Yeah. And so when she couldn't call him 24/7, he got mad. But according to her podcast, I only saw the clip because I am a petty ass bitch and I will not be listening to her. I will not give her my viewership. I will watch those TikTok clips. But he would get really angry, which kind of tracks. And also, as much as I don't like her, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at least one point in life, I feel like a lot of girls can understand having been so heavily manipulated by another guy. And this just kind of does hit home because I think it's exactly what you said. I think that he really wanted to control the situation. He's very used to being able to control the situation. Even when he was with Ariana, he always had the final say in what goes on. So, you know, this scares him. And I think also there's a part of him that's very jealous of the fact that he's constantly having to see all of the hatred towards the two of them. And she just put her phone away and stayed off of social media for, 3 months and just, didn't have to look at any of it.
She didn't have to deal with the fallout. He had to come back on camera and deal with the fallout.
Yeah.
All right, next on our list of weekly tea, Ariana was almost fired pre-Sandoval.
That was a really, really wild claim. I don't know where the truth is to that. Supposedly, Lisa had an on-camera conversation with some producers about her future on the show, and this was right before, Sandoval broke, so...
Imagine if that's like a scene just like on the editing floor somewhere, just like gone forever.
So I heard this from Up and Adam's podcast.
Yes.
It was maybe one of his short videos. Either way, there was a conversation about, what Ariana's future was like on the show because, there was really no storyline aside from something about her. Once she stopped working at SUR, then it became, her depression storyline in season 8.
Yes.
And then I think was it season 9?
I don't remember season 9.
I think it was season 9. They really started working on something about her.
But I can see it because I said this earlier about Lala. Lala she has nothing.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
She can't show her kid. She can't really talk about
the Randall situation.
Stuff. I mean, her and James are good. Her and Allie are good. Her and the girls are good. Like, there's not anything,
They really wanted to, I think, start a war between Lala and the rest of these girls because she reached out to Raquel.
Yeah.
And you could tell, obviously, that the girls really didn't take the
Oh, no. I wouldn't take that good either. I do think her storyline was supposed to be the mistress helping the other mistress post-mistressing. And then she didn't come back, so then she was kind of like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah, I feel like we're definitely going to see a lot of Lala just kind of floating in the wind.
All right. This is a heavy one. The James allegations.
There's only so much that we could say about that one too, because obviously everything is still alleged. We don't know for a fact. There have been hints dropped.
Yeah,
that there may have been.
Kristen talked about it in her book.
Oh, she did talk about it.
Yes, apparently it's in Kristen's book.
She did talk about it a little bit, though, on one of her podcasts.
I mean, it makes sense as to why she talked about it in her book, and then there was always this unspoken reason as to why she refused to forgive him or film with him when they were on the show together. And if that is the reason, it's a very valid reason.
It is a very valid reason. She also kind of validated Rachel's claims a little bit as well when she went on Bethany's podcast saying there is some truth to it. Yeah. So...
I don't necessarily disagree with them. I think there's some truth to it, and if that is true, then he should deal with the consequences of whatever it is that he did. And if they're not, then that really sucks to make a claim like that.
Yeah.
But also, I think if he's no longer drinking and he's genuinely trying to turn his life around, I think he deserves a little bit of. Because I think everybody deserves a moment to try and rectify their mistakes. I don't think no one, unless you're outwardly a murderer or something.
I think that it would probably help his case a little bit more if he, at the very least, acknowledged the rumors, be like, listen, there are truths to it, or maybe not, you know. Mm-hmm. But, it's really not that hard to believe, only because, and we talked about this last week too, every relationship he had been in, from Kristen to Rachel, he was bad,
deep in his alcoholism,
very deep.
He's a much different person than he seems to be without alcohol.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I want to give him a moment to be different or grow from it, because if if that's who he was or who he is without alcohol, then that's a different story than that is someone when he's so deep in his addiction that he can't see straight and he's not acting correctly. Because I mean, I'm a child of an addict. Like, I've seen it. They're not who they normally are when they're in that haze, you know?
Yeah.
So once they're out of it and they're clean and they're sober and they see their mistakes, they want to rectify their mistakes and face the consequences, I think James should be allowed that. But also, he has to acknowledge his faults. You can't just be like, well, I'm clean now, so everything is forgiven. It's like you're got to be clean, you got to show change, and then you also have to be like, yeah, I fucked up majorly. Like, I was a piece of shit.
Yeah. I wonder what's going to happen, because I remember actually a few months back, I don't remember when exactly it was, but Up and Adam actually did mention at one point that there may possibly have been Variety articles written that were yet to come out.
Tamra and you showed me this post.
No. Well, I'm talking. Yes. Well, so two separate instances. So yes, the Tamra thing did happen just this past weekend. They were on the Tom's podcasts. It was Tamra and who was she with? Which housewife? Teddy Mellencamp.
2 peas in a pod.
Yes.
Podcast.
And they were on the Tom's podcast. They were talking about
two teas in a pod.
Yeah, and they were talking about, I forgot where they were coming from, but they hopped in a car with James, and I guess they were alluding to allegedly a physical incident of some sort.
Well, that tracks with what...
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe I need to take back... I don't know.
But, but yeah, a while back, I guess there were Variety articles written that were supposed to come out, and then they never did. So now this happens.
Okay, but why didn't they come out?
Somebody did something. Somebody stepped in.
Lisa? She's got a real soft spot for the boys.
Maybe. Right. We don't know. We don't know, but potentially.
And then the last thing on our tea of the week is this I thought of. This is not really tea of the week. This is a question. If Rachel, according to her podcast, was not able to have her phone on her and she was only allowed a phone call like twice a week, how the fuck did she see Lala's message? If she didn't have her phone and she was only allowed a landline, how did she see Lala's voice note?
I was going to say maybe she had somebody watching her social media for her.
No, but it was a text message, not social media. It was a text like I text you.
No, well, she said it was a voice note. She didn't say where the voice note was from.
You could see it on the show. So it's like if I open...
Was it like an Instagram bubble, though, or was it a text bubble?
No, it was a text. You could see it in the episode. It was this. It was that. And then she was just like a voice note like you send with Apple phones.
I don't know,
And it said read. So I have questions.
With Rachel, I always have questions.
I have questions. Who is it... It obviously happened because Rachel said it on when she was talking to Bethany, so obviously she got that message. But if you cannot say you couldn't have your phone and then... I just have questions. I have questions. I want to know. I need answers, okay? How did she see that message, okay? How did she see that message? Was it... Okay, you know what? Maybe at this point when she got the text... she was able to have her phone because like it said at the beginning she was supposed to be out already and then she ended up staying. So maybe when she was talking to Tom on the phone, she wasn't allowed to have her actual phone, and then by the time Lala texted her, she was able to actually have her phone maybe for like a couple hours a day or something.
Maybe, yeah, very possible. After 30 days they probably eased some restrictions on her and she was probably able to utilize her phone a little bit more. Always a possibility. I really don't know what happens when you go away to a mental health facility.
No, I've never had a grippy sock vacation. Been close.
Unhinged.
I've been close, but I've never actually gone on a grippy sock vacation. Sounds nice, though. All right, that is all I have for tea of the week.
Well, first off, let us know how you feel about the tea of the week.
Yes.
I know we kind of went through it a little quickly because we do have a recap that we still need to get to, but, we are planning on just kind of highlighting as much as we possibly can that we hear in the news cycle, more so as of right now, Vanderpump Rules related, until we find out what other shows that we want to get ourselves into a little bit more. And then we're pretty much going to go from there. Everything is going to be more free flow,
Yeah.
So, on to the second episode of season 11 that happened tonight. We start off immediately once Sandoval is back from New Zealand. He was filming Special Forces, which, again, hilarious exit. Now that since I don't know who else saw it, I know you didn't, but
the way he was talking about it, like it was some like this epic fucking thing that he went on and did. Sir, you got carried by Jojo Siwa. Are you kidding me?
He was
you got your ass whooped.
Embarrassing. I can't say it enough. He was so embarrassing.
I needed the pain to get. I needed to get my like something. He said something about how he needed to get my ass kicked and get to deal with it.
He was so very clearly acting, especially towards the end of it. Like I understand that the Special Forces process is meant to break you down, but honestly, I think that he just completely overdid it. I also, knowing now that his birthday was so close after he got eliminated, a part of me thinks maybe he wasn't sure how much longer he was going to stay for, and maybe he just threw it on purpose so he can go home and have a little birthday party with his bandmates.
His actual show, like his actual show.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we really want to look at his face, his stupid face.
I really could have gone another episode without seeing him.
I really could have gone. The way I want to just like.
But we now meet another fellow Vanderpump Rules podcaster, Anne, his assistant or former assistant. We are not entirely sure.
She looked so Augie.
I feel
so Augie.
Terrible for her.
Oh, horrible.
You know, I feel like there's a lot of added pressure now to the job once this whole breakup happens, and now you're just kind of thrust into the middle of this weird dynamic.
Was she his assistant before pre-Sandoval, or is this like a post-Sandoval assistant's job?
I'm gonna say pre-Sandoval because in the very first episode of her podcast, actually, fun fact, the podcast that she does, she has a co-host who used to be on the Vile Files podcast. So. Okay. All these worlds intertwining, no big deal. But, Tom's assistant, Anne, was saying on the podcast that she was hired pre-Sandoval. Okay. Her and Tom and Ariana were once so close. They were always there for her whenever she needed. Like, there was a lot of love there, and there was a genuine friendship.
Which explains the awkwardness she had. It was like, she's like, I don't know where to go.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, yes, she's under Tom's payroll, but she was very clearly on Ariana's side through this whole thing. But she's like, well, I still work for Tom, so it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't necessarily blame her. I hope for her own sake that she ended up moving on and deciding to do something else because
I would.
I mean, it's not exactly like he was really able to afford her on the payroll. So
no.
So, you know. She asks Ariana if, on behalf of Tom, if he can throw his birthday party. She very obviously says no.
No.
This brought me back to season 10 after the scandal broke, and Tom Sandoval goes over to Rachel's apartment, and he points out, I think Ariana had a bunch of people over at the house. Yeah. Reasonably so, because she just found out that her boyfriend of 9 years had just cheated on her with her best friend, and I guess he had tried kicking everybody out, basically. Yes. I think was the story. That. So that's what that brought me back to.
But that, I think, is completely different. That is
just him being a dick.
Being a dick. This is her saying, this is our shared living space. It's no different than a roommate situation.
And you broke the home. So, fuck you. You shouldn't have a party.
No, but, when you have a roommate and you want to have a party, you have to have your roommate's approval. Having something like that is a 2 yes, 1 no situation. And the compromise if you're going to get 2 yeses. Which she did offer a compromise. Being out by midnight, which we'll see how that goes next week if they leave. But, no, that's one of those, it's completely different. Being mad that your girlfriend is having people around to lift her up when you just shattered her. It's different than you dinking around in your pool in your backyard with your bandmates because you don't actually have friends.
We will get to that too, but yeah, seriously. And also, I made sure to write this down: the white noise machine.
Oh,
the white noise machine.
Oh my god.
How ridiculous.
It's giving one brain cell. It's giving
Like, how much shit are you talking that everybody that you're sharing a living space with can hear it?
Do you think your conversations are that she's going to be listening into it? Dude, she doesn't give a fuck about you anymore.
I think what he meant to say was, I just don't want her to hear me talking to Rachel at night.
Oh, I know, absolutely. Absolutely. But, like, come off your ego, my man. She could give two shits what you're talking about.
I know. It's just crazy. We do go into a small cutscene of Lisa getting ready. It is the last day that Pump is open before they decide to close. The rent just simply got too high. We've been hearing about this for months. There is currently a lawsuit going on about it. So, you know, listen, R.I.P. Pump. I wish we could have gotten to go.
Pump was one of the ones I thought was, like, the prettiest. The trees and, like, garden feel.
But very quickly, we are done with that cutscene, and then we go to James and Allie just taking a little nature walk, and they're talking about Graham.
They're so cute.
The seeds are being planted. Oh, wait, we're talking about Graham. He must be coming back soon.
Oh, well, I honestly, at that point, he literally had no idea where he was.
Yeah.
He literally...
Well, somebody obviously knew where he was.
Lisa, I think, and was the one that figured out where he was, because she literally just, like, gave him up. Didn't even call James, didn't give him the option to, like, hey, you want the dog back? Like, not, she just...
Here's your dog.
That is so shitty to, like, not even give... No matter how much you hate that ex-boyfriend, think of the dog. Like, you're just gonna give it up for adoption instead of giving it back to someone who very clearly wants the dog? Like, that's kind of fucked up.
That is really fucked up, especially because he's already been through multiple foster homes and did not make it through them.
If you don't want to talk to him, talk to Allie. Go have Lisa be a go-between. Have Sandoval be a go-between. I don't, like...
The real test, though, to see if these rumors get validated is we'll see over time. You know, obviously James and Allie are going to have people over at the house. You know, I want to see how people react to Graham being there under James's care. You know, that'll be the real test.
It seems like on social media that Hippie is doing much better. He's Hippie now.
Oh, yeah, he's Hippie now, formerly known as Graham.
Formerly known as Graham Cracker.
The artist formerly known as Graham.
Formerly known as Graham Cracker is now Hippie.
Like, what is this dog, Prince?
No, I think Hippie was something to do with George Michael, who was James's godfather.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's a reference. He talked about it on his Instagram about changing the name, and I completely forgotten what it was. But it was something to do like that.
I always feel weird about changing a dog's name, especially when they've had the same name forever. I don't know if I could have done that. I get maybe his reasoning as to why, but, like, I don't know. When I first got Roxy, I couldn't imagine changing her name because I feel like she was already well associated with her name.
Yeah.
If I hated the name enough, then maybe I probably would have changed it. But
I think if you, like, get them as a puppy and they have, like, a name as a puppy and then you get them like that and then you, as you're trading them, you give them a different name, I think it's fine, because that's what we did with Bub. I forget what his, like...
Yeah, but Graham's, like, what, 5
Graham
years
is
old?
old now, yeah.
Yeah, 5, 6 years old.
No, like, but when it's a puppy, it's different. But when you're, like, adopting a dog from, like, a shelter and they're, like, old and they know their name, I think it's confusing. It's gotta be confusing to, like, learn a new name. Although, maybe if you say it in the same inflection in which you would say their old name, it would be a little easier.
And then just use treats. That's pretty much how you do it. I was still teaching Roxy her name and everything. Mm-hmm. Just getting her to kind of...
No.
Huh?
Me?
Oh.
Little attention queen.
Yeah. I hope that I actually see her head pop into this video again. Because
I hope so. She's coming. Speaking of the devil.
Roxy! Hi!
Oh, I don't think you're in frame. She's right here, though.
Poopy.
Hi, Rox.
Well, hello, my baby.
Hi, mamas.
My sweet love.
Oh, the puppy. I mean, your head is literally just in frame, I think.
You probably got to see just barely her snoot, but that's okay.
She's a good girl.
Just know that she's here.
She's here.
So, the next scene, Tom's friend and band manager, more importantly, comes to the house and, you know, has a little scene with Tom because nobody else wants to shoot with him right now.
Literally, he has no friends. All of the people that he hung out with, aside from, like, Billie Lee and Kyle Chan, are on his fucking payroll.
And Schwartz, I guess.
And Schwartz, yeah. I was really disappointed in Schwartz going, I'm not gonna lie, because it really did seem, when he and Tom had that one-on-one talk, that he did not want to go. And I was really hoping he would hold his ground and not go. But he did.
I think he played that up for the camera. I don't know.
I don't know with those two. Like, I don't know. It's like
Schwartz is really
mad at him, and he's hurt, and he's upset, and he wants, you know, like, he's obviously very upset and annoyed with the situation, but he's, like, not holding firm on, like, stand your ground, bro.
Talking about soft spots for Tom, I just think Schwartz might have the biggest one, or a hard-on, whichever one.
Both.
So, you know, the band manager and Tom, they talk about Rachel. They say Tom Sandoval says that he is still in love with her. Yeah. He misses her. He wants her to come back.
Are you kidding me?
And then he tries to negotiate with Ariana to have his birthday party by saying to Anne to then say to her.
Okay, all right, hold on. Speaking of being in love with Rachel, I have. Okay, this man would not stop drinking and partying and doing shit so he could go and bring his sperm count up to fertilize his eggs with his fucking girlfriend. But he can stop drinking because Rachel has stopped drinking. Are you kidding me? The audacity of this man. Like, are you shitting me right now?
I know.
Like, you could.
We are really jumping ahead here.
I'm sorry. You just mentioned it because you were talking about how he said he loved her, and it was like kind of all in the same scene, where, you know, or in essence, I don't know. But like, you can't stop drinking because your girlfriend, who previously said she didn't want children, went through the process of retrieving her eggs, which, in case anyone doesn't know, is not an easy thing to do. That shit's not easy. We saw Sheena do it one season. I forget what season it was, but
that was season 8.
We saw her.
We've been watching that one.
It is not fucking easy. That shit is painful. Your hormones are out of whack. Like, it is not. She went through something for you to give you the option of having kids with her should you want it in the future. And all you had to do was stop drinking for a certain amount of time so your sperm count could go up because, well, lo and behold, all of your partying for the last 45 gajillion years has kind of lowered your little swimmers, okay? And all you had to do was stop drinking for a little bit, right? So you could fertilize the eggs with your basic wife, okay? And you couldn't do it. But you're gonna not drink for your girlfriend, your mistress. Like, are you fucking shitting me right now? The audacity. That's so fucked. It's so fucked.
The set on this one. Like, honestly, yeah.
If I was Ariana, I'm heated, and I'm not even Ariana. Like, that is so hurtful.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't do that for me, the woman you supposedly loved and was living with and wanted a family with and had said that for a bajillion fucking like, you're together for almost a decade. And you're continuously talking about how you want kids with me. I go through the very painful process of doing that, and you can't even stop drinking. You're talking about it like it's like, oh, yeah, she wants me to do it, but I really, and then you're like, Rachel's not drinking right now because she's, like, having mental health problems. So, like, I'm not drinking right now because I'm in love with her.
And Ariana also went through multiple other somethings in the midst of all of that as well. She went through the death of her dog. Yes. She went through the death of her grandmother.
And all she was asking of you was to fertilize the eggs
that you
wanted.
Thank
God he didn't, obviously, because those now are just hers and they're not theirs. Because he has no genetic material.
Everything has a way of working itself out.
So fucked, though. I'm sorry. It got me so heated when he said that on the show, and I remembered that, and I've been heated about that for the last, like, hour.
That really triggered you.
I don't know why. I literally have no idea why that, like, upset me so much. It's just, like, it's so...
Like, that's the one thing that broke the camel's back.
I mean, there's a lot of things, but for some... I don't know why that triggered me so much, but that's really fucked up. Like, it's really fucked up.
It is. It is insanely fucked up. This guy just truly doesn't have a conscience. He does so many fucked up things that, honestly, it doesn't even faze me anymore. It really doesn't.
No, normally it doesn't. I think it was just... I don't know. I have no idea why that made me so mad. But it's just... Like, are you really in love with Rachel? Like, come on.
No, he was infatuated by her.
It was a new thing.
Sheena did.
New toy.
Sheena did.
Sweating now. I'm so heated.
Sheena hinted on Watch What Happens Live. There is more to come of that instance, so I'm excited to see what else there is, and all the ways that he really is not in love with her.
I think he's because at the time, at this point in of them filming, they don't know that she's not coming back.
Yeah, contract negotiations were still going on at this time.
It's still up in the air with her. What I remember was that she was going to come back mid-season. It was going to be a mid-season comeback. So I honestly, because I really don't think this man is actually capable of real love. I think he's a little psychotic. I don't think he's a narcissist. He's not capable of loving anyone but himself, right? I don't think he's really in love with her. I think he is, because you remember, she had said at the reunion that their plan was to come back this season
and be together.
And so I think he's still holding on to this storyline thread, this one little string that's left of like, this is our redemption arc, right? And he's holding on to that. And I think
because somehow he thinks that, oh, well, we better still be together so everybody eventually can forgive us.
Well, yes, because it worked with Ariana. Him and Ariana were together. Everyone kind of just went like, okay, they're obviously together. Like it's, but that was also a completely different situation than this one, right? It's like apples and oranges.
They weren't friends.
No.
Ariana and Kristen were not friends.
I really do think that him saying, oh, I love her, like I really think it's just him playing up the storyline that he is committed to. And then when it comes out that she is not coming back, because I'm sure we're going to see the moment they all figure out that she's not coming back, he's going to flip and he's going to be pissed that his redemption arc is now officially like fucking obliterated. He has nothing now. Now he's nothing. He doesn't have Rachel. He doesn't have Ariana. All his friends hate him, right?
I mean, listen, even if there was a shot at him getting a redemption arc this season, all of his interviews and podcasts and all the shit that he's doing,
he would have shot it down the drain. Well, okay, here's what I think.
It's already shot to hell. It's not happening.
I think if this went a different way and she did come back and they did get this like redemption, I think the way he would be speaking now in the present tense would be completely different, because she didn't come back and he didn't get what he wanted, and so now she's
like dead to him.
Yes, he's floundering. He's out in the world, he's floundering, he has nothing. So now he doesn't give a shit what he says, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's nothing to hold on to anymore. But the thought of Rachel coming back, I really think this I'm still in love with her storyline is literally just him holding on to we were gonna come back next season and say we're in love and everyone's gonna forgive us and it's gonna be all roses and rosé and sparkling glitter and unicorns. It's not.
So speaking of, actually, the Madam Web commercial was fucking hilarious.
Oh my god,
Pre-Scandal.
He's a fucking battered wife.
Like, look at him.
Look at him.
And they actually did a fairly decent job bringing them back, and I think
that was actually really funny. They were in the same outfits. The one that cracked me up too was the ring on the string reference, and he's literally wearing that fucking weird ass tie shit that he wore to Sheena's wedding, and Tom's in the same kind of thing. That was really that was excellent PR. Whoever thought of that was a fucking genius. That was hysterical. That right there, that was made by a Bravo fan. Mm-hmm. That idea came from one of us.
Obviously.
Oh yeah, that was so good though.
A Bravo-holic.
That was hysterical.
It was great.
It was really good. I liked that one.
So now we're back, and Ariana and Lala meet up for lunch. Mm-hmm. We're doing a little check-in just on how the living situation has been going. And I like that Ariana's reasoning for not moving out of the house is, I'm not here for him trying to assert his dominance and make me so uncomfortable that I leave. And honestly, some may call that stubborn, but honestly, I fully support it.
Oh, hell yeah. She put as much, if not more, thought and money into decorating that house and living in that house.
And she's more likely to be able to afford that house.
Oh, yeah, especially now.
Yeah, she could easily have bought him out, but that's not the point. She wants to be out of the house, and she wants it to be sold. He obviously can't afford to live there.
No, they need to, what normal people do in that situation is, because there's not kids involved, so you're not having to uproot children, sell the fucking house, right? and move the fuck on. They can't, though, and he can't because he used it as collateral for Schwartz and Sandy's.
Oh, yeah, he did. I forgot about that.
I think that's why she has to, like, sue him to, like, get out of the house. Because she's not just gonna give it up.
Yeah. No, of course not.
So the only way for her to...
I wouldn't either.
No. So that's why she was still there, was because if she left, then she's forfeiting. And she would lose money. And I'm not about to lose like $500,000 for a worm with a mustache.
Also, I'm referencing his podcast with Nick Viall too, because we didn't talk about this last week, but he said he made her an offer of like $3.1 million, which
Nick came out and said that was a really shitty, that he agreed with Ariana not taking it because it was a terrible offer.
It is a terrible offer, and the reason why is because maybe if you just bought the house, then that's an okay offer, but if you're splitting like a $2.2 million house or something like along those lines.
It's a house in the valley. It's fucking expensive.
And then you've had that house for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, they got it the
2019.
Was it? Yeah, something like that.
It was 2019, so it's been about 5 years. Obviously, the value of that house has gone up significantly. So $3.1 million is an awful offer.
Yes,
an awful offer, and you should know, asshole Tom Sandoval. Like, fuck out of here with that.
Okay, well, he's not a smart person. That's been established time and time again.
But on a more exciting and happier note, all of our thoughts are confirmed here that, Ariana actually is capable of seeing a life of marriage with children. She just has to be with somebody who is not a man-child.
That was crazy. That was crazy because it is very valid for a woman to not want to get married and not want to have children. If that's not what she wants with her life, go off, queen. No, we said this when we were watching the episode, that is absolutely, I think, her ick about having kids was one, because she has mentioned before that she has like a weird phobia with like the downstairs area.
But it's because of all the past relationships that she's been in.
Yes. But I understand her like phobia of pregnancy because like Bessie, same. But I also can see having the ick about having a child with that man because he's literally a man-child. Like, you very clearly were going to be doing the night feedings and the raising and like the entire process of children, and he was just gonna be one of those dads that like shows up and like is like, this is my, you know what I mean?
That kid was never gonna grow up to be like a normal human being.
She would have been a married single mom. They're not married, but she would have been a married single mother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think it's incredible that she's now with somebody that she's like, oh, wait a minute. This is what, like she said, this is what...
So this is love.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But she said, this is what having a 50-50 partner looks like. Mm-hmm. If I need to be 10 one day, he'll be 90. If he needs to be 10 one day, I'll be 90. If we got to do 40-60, we'll do 40-60.
Also completely shocked to hear that Dan is 40.
That man
He is a handsome man.
She upgraded fucking hardcore.
Big time.
He is so hot.
I did not expect him to be 40.
Ariana.
At all.
Ariana.
Good for you, girl.
If you're listening, if this finds you, does he have a friend?
Does he have a friend?
Because I don't live far from New York. Does he have a friend? A single friend that wants to get married? Because I'm available.
One that works out with him,
One that works out with... I don't work out, but like one that... I'll watch you work out. I'll walk the treadmill while you're like lifting weights.
I'm going to reference a line from The Golden Bachelor. I think a fan favorite, Susan. And she goes, my exercise is I lift my arm up, I stick it in the chip bag, and then I lift it back out.
This is the
and
joke.
Then I eat the chip.
Yes. This is a joke that I make all the time. Because unfortunately for me, I'm in the dating world. This is a joke that I've made a couple times where guys are like, do you work out? But I firmly believe this. My cardio is my job. Do you know how heavy a blow dryer gets?
Yes.
After halfway through my shift, my arms are fucking tired.
I was going to say, I feel like your arms would get really stiff after a while. If you're doing like 4 blowouts in a row.
I am on my feet all day, right? I'm with blow dryer and a round brush. This constant motion all day, and then sometimes it's you're adding motions to it if you're changing up the way the blow dry looks.
That's gotta hurt your wrists too.
Yeah, you can get carpal tunnel like that if you're not careful. It's a repetitive motion. It's the same if you're like any kind of repetitive movement with any sort of body part. If you're not compensating it, or like you're gonna get an injury. But like I always say, that's my cardio. I don't need the gym. You do an 8-hour fully booked Saturday, okay? Blow drying the hair. And everyone's hair is different. So you can have clients that have hair like mine or yours, which is very easy to blow dry, right? I love blow drying your hair. It doesn't take me that long. But then you can have clients that have very thick hair, and that shit fucking hurts. My arms get tired, okay? That is my cardio. So future husband, right? He can go to the gym. And I'll just like watch. I'll just sit there and be like, yay, good job, baby. I'm so proud of you. Look at you lifting those weights. While I eat my bag of chips.
So Dan's friend, at least you'll have a cheerleader.
I'm an excellent cheerleader. Are you kidding? I'm excellent at it. Yay! And I'll like genuinely mean it. Like, I'm proud of you. Proud of you going to the gym because I ain't got that time. Right? Hell no. I'm lazy. I'm so lazy. I'm going to sit at home, watch my Vanderpump Rules, and you can go to the gym, and when you can come back, we'll, like, hang out on the couch. We'll just, like, all of the gym work you just did goes right out the window.
There we go.
Better?
We are secured. We are secured,
None of you saw that unless you're on Patreon. You saw the bloopers.
Yep. I just spent an absurd amount of time just trying to readjust myself here. So if you're on Patreon, you're going to see that. And if you're not on Patreon... Sorry, you missed it.
Sorry, it was funny.
You missed a funny. So now we're at Pump's closing party. I don't really think anybody was really all that invested in this.
I wasn't. No, I think I was looking at my phone.
The only interesting part of the entire thing was they brought back Schwartz behind the bar, and I guess he was feeling a little bit better at it than the first time we ever saw him behind the bar at Pump.
As someone with an anxiety disorder, I have always been insanely irked by his... I had a panic attack and I just walked... Like, bitch, I have panic attacks at work. I go in the back. I have my moment. I cry. We get ourselves back together and you go back to work. Like, you don't walk off on your job. Like, I'm a huge mental health advocate, but you can't just leave your job. Like, Lisa was right to fire him, but that has always irked me. He's like, I had a panic attack and then I left. Okay? But you do see the growth in him, that he's not grown a lot. But I think Schwartzy has come a very long way from, what is that, season 4, season 3, something like that?
Somewhere around there, yeah. Speaking of Schwartz, too, I mean, he gets to talk with Lisa at this point, and, obviously they're going to catch up about what's been going on with the Schwartz and Sandy's business, because this is still fresh after Sandoval, and Schwartz and Sandy's...
reminder, this is 3 months post-scandal.
And Schwartz and Sandy's is just getting a lot of heat post-scandal, and...
I'll say, I would be super fucking pissed, like Schwartz, if Tom caused all of this damage to our name, to our business, to our brand, and you instead of, like, he was frustrated that Tom, when they told him not to come in, that didn't mean you stopped working. You come up with ideas. You try and fix the situation. You don't up and go on a dinky-ass, stupid fucking tour with your stupid-ass cover band with a fucking white sheet for a sign.
I think that was his way of saying, like, fuck you guys, because they did ask him to step down.
I mean, but that's a logical thing to do. I mean, you have to... He doesn't think...
Yeah, but Sandoval doesn't understand logic.
No, he doesn't. And he doesn't understand that he's done anything wrong. Because to a narcissist, that's not how you think. That's not how they think. They messed up, but it's... You have to forget... Like, it is classic narcissist, but it's just frustrating.
Basically, like, oh, if I go down, everybody else has to come down with me.
It's clearly not my fault. This is his thinking, okay? Yes, what he did has caused these problems, but he is not responsible for what is happening because other people are doing it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So to his mind, it is not his fault because the actions are being perpetrated by somebody else. And so, like, yeah, he did this thing, but he did that thing, and that's it. That's the end of his. That's the end of his. A word, thinking of a word, but like that's the end of the line for him. That's where it stops. Anything that happens afterwards is other people's fault. It's their fault for getting triggered by it. It's their fault for getting mad about it. Why are they getting mad about it? It's not it wasn't their business. It wasn't their relationship.
Like, if everybody could just step off me and leave me alone.
Exactly.
My God, stop obsessing over me.
So anything that is happening to the business Tom does not take responsibility for, because to a narcissist, it is no longer his responsibility.
He's like, why can't everybody just let it go and like stop thinking about me so much? Like, what are you all obsessed with me? I didn't do anything wrong.
In his mind,
I gave him a little New York twang. My bad.
Yeah, it's Long Island in you.
Yeah,
but like to his mind, his fault in it. Started and ended with his affair, and anything that happens afterwards is collateral damage that he is not responsible for.
And again, I'm going to bring up again the soft spot that Lisa has for Sandoval in particular, because, you know, Lisa thinks that he shouldn't blame Sandoval for the business going down, and I don't think she could be any more wrong about that.
It is his fault. It is his fault.
It is his fault. There's a whole reason why he was asked to stand down. There's a whole reason why the season can't film at Schwartz and Sandy's, and I just really don't see the justification here for
none of these
not blaming him.
None of these repercussions would have happened had you not stuck your dick in someone that is not your girlfriend. It is entirely his fault.
And honestly, if he stopped being such a little prick about it for the entire year that it's been going on, we could have all forgotten about it already.
We would have forgotten about it.
We could have moved on already.
We would have moved on.
And I feel like everybody's been wanting to move on, but then he opens his mouth and he prolongs the entire thing. Like, just shut up.
Because Ariana's moved on. She doesn't talk about it anymore. She's living her life. She's taking the opportunities that she has gotten from it, but she doesn't talk about it. This man is out here on every fucking podcast and every vlog and every blog and everything. Oh my god, it ruined my life. I don't know why people are still talking about it. Let me live my life. It didn't pertain to you. It was only one time. Like,
sweet Lady Jane.
Sandoval's a liar. You are a liar, bro. Does the truth hurt?
Sheena and Brock, they go to the studio, work on her music.
That was weird.
She's doing her Screamo Good as Gold, which honestly, I'm not mad at. I kind of like it.
I enjoy hearing and seeing her be vulnerable about her postpartum OCD. The music I can take or leave, but it is nice seeing her talk about and be vulnerable about I can't talk today.
I do fully understand her hesitance to have somebody watch Summer Moon, because I used to, and I not to make it about me, but you know, I used to feel the same way when it came to leaving my dog.
No, I get like that with Bubby.
Max would yell at me all the time because I would have the cameras on.
Oh my god,
to watch her.
The way I want to get a camera to like watch Bub all day long. No, it's not the same, because it's not a human baby, but it's the
constant paranoia and that feeling of like, I hate leaving them.
Yes, no, I get Bub is my emotional support dog.
Yeah. So we'll basically take a quick break on that scene, more so because we're going to end up hearing more about it at a later time throughout the episode. Sandoval and Schwartz end up talking about him getting sober until Rachel gets out of the facility. I know we just went on a whole long tangent about that one already, but yeah, that's not a great look either. And then he makes a very bold claim that Ariana was not paying her half of the bills. Yeah, I don't believe this claim for 1 second, especially when it's coming from the person who literally can't.
Coming from Tom? Fuck that.
The one who can't afford to live in the house that they are sharing.
You want me to believe this man? Also, though, bro, your fault, okay? You don't have a lot of money coming in. Your fucking fault.
It's very hard not to rag on Sandoval.
I have zero sympathy
so far this season.
I have zero sympathy. I don't think I'll ever have sympathy for him. I don't fucking care.
Like, I want
other. Afford your bills. Go cry me a fucking river.
I really want to be able to talk about other things, but you know, listen, this is what we signed up for. This is just what the season is going to consist of.
I'm hoping at some point they segue from Sandoval, but I have a very hard feeling that Tom is going to be able to...
he's going to die on that hill.
He's not going to be able to talk about anything but himself. And unfortunately, the only thing about himself right now is that he fucked Rachel.
And he liked it.
And he liked it.
So... Sandoval is also pretty upset with Schwartz because he went on Jackson Brittany's podcast. I actually remember, I listened to this episode. Max and I were on the way to Atlantic City when we listened to this episode.
Oh, fun.
And I was very curious. I had not listened to Jackson Brittany's podcast prior to this, but I was really curious, and it was still very fresh after the scandal broke. So, you know, reunion had literally just happened. So I was very curious at what Schwartz had to say.
That's right. He went on literally like the week after.
Something like that. Yeah.
It was very, very soon after.
Very soon afterwards. And, you know, obviously he was kind of shit-talking Sandoval a little bit, as he should.
Yeah, but I think you have to have...
And this is when he said he was going to take a break from their friendship.
This is you have to have context. I think Sandy is forgetting that, it sucks that your friend went and said all that shit, but you just threw said friend under the bus multiple times.
Especially for facilitating, you know, being the central location for your affair.
You can't blame him for being angry at you because you lied to him. You lied to literally everybody, because I don't think for a second he told Schwartz the whole story. I think Schwartz knows or knew more than Schwartz was letting on, but I still think that Sandoval lied to him about a lot of things.
Yeah, so just like how we said, we were going to take a quick break on the Sheena OCD thing. Mm-hmm. We literally go into the very next scene. Yeah. And they are trying to find a babysitter.
Yeah.
I'm out of breath. They bring in, I guess, a family friend. Her name is Tori, to watch Summer. This is really, obviously, very hard for Sheena.
Yeah.
And I guess Brock must have... kind of threw her under the bus a little bit.
Brock really put his foot in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it
came from a bad place.
I think it was definitely frustration of like seeing your wife struggle and wanting to help, but nothing is helping, and being frustrated by it because you do need to get out and be a couple, because you can't just be mom and dad all the time. Mm-hmm. So I understood his frustration. I think he really put his foot in his mouth in that scene. I don't think what he said he meant to come off the way that it did.
It didn't translate very well.
No, it didn't.
But in the end, you know, obviously he was right.
Yeah, they got there in the end, and she saw it in the end. But I get why I don't know, I really am relating to Sheena so far this season with her anxiety, because like I fucking get it. Like there's times where like someone will say something and you take it the wrong way because your brain is telling you that they're intending it in a way that they actually didn't. And like I totally get it.
She took it more as a dig than
and it wasn't necessarily meant as a dig. It was just meant as like a frustrated like. But when you're so deep in that like fog and that haze and you can't swim out of it, like it's so hard to see like the logic that is in front of you.
Yeah.
It could literally be staring you in the face and you're going to look every other way but that way. Yeah. Because your brain is like, but what's over here? But what's over here? But we'll look over there and look over here. Well, he meant that the wrong way. Remember that time he said the other thing from the other day that he meant that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it's just a snowball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So super quick scene, very quickly just kind of came and went.
Yeah.
They really didn't focus on too many things that did not have to do with Scandival, so we really only
It was a very Scandival heavy episode.
I mean, I think every episode at this point is going to be very Scandival heavy. We're probably going to do our best to transition to other things, but I think the main focus really is just going to be Tom and Ariana.
I think, and also at this point, we're 2 episodes in, we're 3 months in this. I think once we get to the end of the season, it'll probably be a little less Scandi.
Yeah.
But
part of me wishes that they aired this maybe a little bit sooner after Scandival, more so because now I just feel tired.
We as an audience are exhausted.
I feel tired.
Yes. So we as the audience have been hearing about this for almost a year now. So to us, the viewers, it's fucking exhausting. But to them in the episode, like this is 9 months ago. So they're like, it's still fresh in the episode because it literally just happened, but we're already almost a year out and we're like, I'm fucking tired. If I never hear Scandival again, actually that's a lie, I live for drama that doesn't involve me. I love other people's drama.
I just want to keep hearing new shit, you know, instead of having to focus on all the old shit.
Things. I want new tea to come out.
Yes,
tell me new things,
like Ariana almost getting fired apparently. That was some new tea.
That was new tea. I want new Scandival tea. I want it to come out that they have been having an affair for longer than they said, because I refuse to believe. I said this last week, but I refuse to believe it. But like, if we're gonna keep talking about Scandival, give me new shit. Give me new content. How about we talk about the affair that Tom had before Rachel? And
I need to know who that was.
Let's have more tea.
Oh my God! Somebody come forward, please. If listen, if it is Billie Lee, she's really keeping it to herself. She's like a vault, that girl. Yeah. If it is Billie Lee.
I don't think I guarantee you that he has slept with Billie Lee at some point, if not recently, then in the past and recently.
Which, again, because she was also friends with Ariana. Fucking her friends, but okay. Now, again, finally, something, again, not Sandoval related, but it is still a quick scene. We go back to James and Allie's house, and Schwartz is getting house tour.
An astrological thing with with Allie.
Yes, Allie had just opened up her astrology business. She's about to give Schwartz a reading.
Me and Schwartzy have the same moon. We're both Libra moons.
She is also just telling everybody what we already know, that Schwartz is a people pleaser, and he is one for the people, and
it's a Libra moon for you.
What is new about that? We don't know. I don't really see anything new about it. It makes sense.
It was nice though to see James being supportive of Allie's hobbies and her work and things, and then Schwartz to come in and be excited and like be supportive. Like, that was really sweet, because that's something that a lot of people, the astrological thing and being into that thing, is very much like shit on and laughed at. Because I've gotten it a couple of times when I was like super hyper fixated. They'd be like, "Oh, that's so fucking stupid." I'm like, "But it's fun. It's like it's a fun thing."
I've had guys not date me because I chose to tell them that I actually enjoy. I believe in that stuff.
Oh, hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Like I kind of
Wait, what's your moon sign?
I am a Capricorn sun with an Aries moon and a Pisces rising.
Ooh, that's right. You said you're an Aries moon.
Which is exactly why I am all fucking over the place all the time. Because I am just a mess of signs.
No, I'm an Aries sun, Libra moon, and Libra rising. So I'm a Libra inside.
And yeah.
And I am just Libra. I was born in April, but I'm a fucking Libra.
Yeah.
So me and Schwartzy have the same. We're matching.
Yeah, so and then James gets a text from Sandoval for the first time since the reunion, and inviting him to his birthday party because he has no other friends.
Literally no other friends. I thought that was fucking hysterical. You texting the person whose ex-fiance you fucked because you don't have enough people to come to your birthday party.
And speaking of his birthday party, before the party, we see Ariana and Katie getting ready to go to emo night.
I love that.
Which, love a good emo night.
Oh yeah.
I was super jealous. I wish I could have gone to one of those.
Oh my god. Is Evanescence considered emo music?
Fuck yeah, they are.
Because that was my jam.
I fucking loved Evanescence.
Oh, Evanescence was my fucking jam. From like 7th to 8th grade, I was like Evanescence all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone went through, at least most, like our gen, like we're in the same generation.
We're like the later millennials.
Their VPR cast is like maybe like 5.
They're all the elder millennials.
They're older. They're like 5 to 10 years older than we are. But like every millennial had a fucking emo phase. Oh yeah. We all did it. We all had the side bangs. We all listened to emo music. We all had the really thick raccoon liner. Okay.
Oh yes, we definitely had the thick raccoon liner.
And if you
phase.
say that you didn't, you're a fucking liar. Because anyone out there that's a millennial that is looking in this video right now and telling me that you didn't have an emo phase is wrong. You had an emo phase. It may have been in secret, okay? It may have been on the inside, but you did. You did. We all did, okay? It's a millennial rite of passage.
I had a point too where I would also like just completely drown my hair in mousse to like get it all curly and hard.
Mousse curls.
And then I would straighten my bangs.
Oh my god.
Like,
yes.
Hardcore.
Oh my god, the crunchy hair.
I also remember getting really sucked into this like tutorial videos on YouTube of like scene girls basically like teasing their hair to make it all big and shit. Like, I couldn't do that, but I definitely enjoyed watching it. Wishing that I could.
The crackle nail polish.
I didn't get into the crackle nail polish phase, but
I got into crackle. I very quickly went from emo girl to crackle nails. I wasn't necessarily like super hardcore emo, but like I definitely listened to the music and that's, I think I was like emo on the inside. My outside was still very like Barbie, but the inside was I was not Barbie.
You were pulling the troubled theater kid aesthetic.
Oh, hell yeah. It's no wonder I went to film school.
Speaking of Tom Sandoval's birthday party, Billie Lee has entered the chat, everybody. Billie Lee has now entered the chat.
Okay, here's my thing. I have never liked Billie Lee. I could give two shits that she's transgender.
So we loved Billie Lee in the beginning.
Yes.
But
the first like couple scenes that she was on, I think I was like, oh my God, I love this for her. Like, go be your true self, be all your authentic self, because I think everyone should be their authentic self, right?
I think it all went downhill once the girls' night started happening.
And she wasn't hearing that it wasn't in transphobic. And then afterwards, it was like anytime anyone said they hated Billie Lee, it was like, oh, because she's trans. I'm like, I could give two shits that she's trans.
It's like, no, it's because you're a bitch.
This is, my friend Elsa says this all the time. Shout out to Elsa. Hi. Because I know you're watching. She says this all the time. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. You're gay, straight, bi, trans, arrow,
being an asshole knows no affiliation.
Asshole is an asshole, and Billie Lee is an asshole.
Okay? Like, she really had so much potential, and I just think that if she wasn't so deep into her insecurities,
I just didn't like
she would have had more friends.
I just didn't like that she wouldn't hear, because they were, I said this, it was like I remember because Lala wasn't listening to Billie, and Billie wasn't listening to Lala, and it was just a bad situation all around because Lala wasn't hearing Katie. I think Katie and Ariana heard where Billie was coming from, but like Lala didn't. Lala was just, you know what I mean? She was just like, you can't play the trans card, and she's like, I'm just telling you where my feelings were coming from. Mm-hmm. But Billie was also being a brick wall and not being like, okay, they didn't.
They didn't mean it in that way.
She couldn't see past her own.
Yeah.
Which I understand. But and then every time after that, she just got worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
She just got worse. And then like an asshole is an asshole, and Billie Lee is a bitch.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's just, listen, go on, girl, do your thing.
Go on.
Super happy for you that you get to be yourself and live the life that you want to live. I'm super happy about that.
I think everyone should be able to do that. But if you're going to be an asshole, you're still an asshole. I don't give a shit what is in your pants.
Yeah.
Or what you identify as.
Yeah.
If you're a douche, you're a douche.
You're a douche.
Just the way it goes.
But we're back at emo night.
Emo night.
Lala pulls out the side bangs that we were just talking about. She really had the scene hair.
She did. The girls looked incredible.
Yep.
They looked so good.
They looked fabulous.
There has not been one bad outfit. No, that's a lie. Lala's outfit last week at the D. James's night was pretty bad, but more.
It worked for her though.
It worked for her though. But the girls are dressing so fabulously this season.
Oh, we didn't address this before, but Allie's interview look. Oh my God. She looked fantastic.
The color, the styling. Yeah. Oh no, the girls are killing it in their confessionals this season.
They look so
good. Even James's like very bright colored suit is working.
Yeah.
And I'm normally not a fan of the very bright colored because I think sometimes it comes off. The saturation that they use in the confessionals, you can tell sometimes that it's whatever like filter, whatever they're doing for the confessionals to make it more colorful, sometimes doesn't translate well to certain confessional outfits. But James is working for him. So far, everyone's confessionals have been like a real smash.
I know. Yeah. Well, now we're finally at the very end here. We're getting to the tail end of the night here, but James shows up to Sandoval's birthday party, and Allie doesn't even bother getting out of the car.
An iconic move. I don't even tell him I'm here. Iconic. She pulls her phone out. She's like, I'll be right here. And do not tell that man I'm in the car.
I will just be waiting
because
here.
I agreed with her. She wasn't
ride or die.
She wasn't friends with Sandoval, and she was closer to Ariana, so she's not going to get involved with Sandoval. There's no point in her trying to forge a relationship with someone she doesn't want to forge a relationship with.
Like, what's the point?
She's so refreshing. I love her.
I think she's great.
I love her.
She's fun.
Yeah.
She very clearly, is in it just for James. She's like not pushing for like the show's affiliation or anything like that.
She's literally just like, I'm just dating this DJ.
Pretty much. That's it. She seems very down to earth.
I'm dating this DJ. I like astrological things, and we live in this nice house.
Pretty much. And we have a beautiful dog.
Yeah.
So, James goes in there, he talks to Sandoval, and I loved what he said, that Sandoval's party is the who's who, as in who the hell is that?
Yes. I loved too that he said to Sandoval, he's like, he was only there to have a talk.
And then just Sandoval just ghosts him at his own party.
Away. Yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna talk. Oh yeah. And then whoever it was that came over, a band person, I don't fucking know. I don't know anyone who's at that party except for
He's
Billie.
like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, he's like, who is talking to me right now? He's like, no, I'm just waiting for Tom. We're gonna have a chat. And then he goes over and goes, oh, I thought we were gonna talk outside. Yeah, sure you did. Sir.
Like,
and that talk went downhill real fast.
Really fast. I'm curious to know, because obviously we know the show is edited. We know this is nothing new to us, but I am curious to know how long that conversation actually was.
It couldn't have been. It didn't seem like it was very long.
It doesn't seem like it was very long, but I can't help but feel like we're missing something.
Well, maybe.
But yes, I mean, listen, I think it's funny that they went straight into, you were fucking my fiance, and then Tom Sandoval feels the need to be like, oh, but you fucked my girlfriend.
Rachel, you were
with Kristen.
Right, Kristen. Again, not the same thing.
Not the same thing. And also, not for nothing, yes, it was 10 years ago, but also, shouldn't we have learned from that instance 10 years ago so we could know not to do it to anybody else?
Who said that in their confessional? Was it Sheena? James?
James said it as a response to Sandoval.
Sheena said it in Watch What Happens Live.
It was 10 years ago, and it was not the same situation. No, but also, he tried to be like, it wasn't 10 years ago. And then the editors do their magic again. I love it so much. Because, yes, at the time of filming, it was 10 years ago. And now we are very quickly approaching 11 years since. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. Again, not the same. James...
I can't with him.
And him and Kristen had already broken up by then. When she fucked James, they had already broken up. So
because Tom, with Ariana at the Golden Nugget.
Oh, Kristen completely fucked James because James was supposed to move into the apartment, and she did it as retaliation. But they were not dating when she did it, and it's not the same thing. Also, sir, James is allowed an apology without bringing up his past discretions.
Well, again, even if it happened 10 years ago, why does that give you license to do it again 10 years later?
It doesn't.
Like, so again, did you want to do it 10 years ago? Did you want to do it in retaliation 10 years later? Is that what you're saying, that it was okay to do? Or
no, he's just trying to justify justify his actions. He doesn't want to take accountability.
Crazy.
He doesn't care. He has no empathy. He doesn't nothing. It is apples and oranges. It is not the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's not the same thing. And for you to bring that up when all he's asking is to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm really sorry that I did that to you. You were my friend, and I slept with your ex-fiance, and I lied to you about it.
Like, Jay, just say, I'm sorry, I fucked up,
James,
and
I'm
move
sorry.
on.
That's all he needed. You helped him propose to her. You were his very close friend, and you lied to him.
He paid for this proposal.
You lied to him. He is owed an apology. And it's not that hard to say, you're right, James. I really fucked up. I'm sorry. I didn't intend to fall. If this is the narrative he's going with, I didn't intend to fall in love with her. We went about it the wrong way, and I'm very sorry. And then done.
We were best friends.
We were best, but you know what I mean. Like literally all he had to do was be like, I'm so sorry.
That's all he had to do.
I'm sorry. You're right. I lied to you, and I fucked everything up, and I isolated you from the group, and I made you out to be, and I'm sorry.
And then on top of that, not go talking a whole bunch of shit in the media, because that just easily negates the apology. So you have to actually mean the apology when you're giving it.
Yeah, and it can't be an and but.
Yeah.
Anything that comes before but is null and void.
Yep. So James leaves the house. Obviously, he's pretty annoyed, as anybody would be. And then he just pees on the bush.
Is it illegal to pee on their bushes?
This is Ariana's house, too.
It's also Ariana's bush.
I feel like Ariana wouldn't care.
Oh, no. I think it's hysterical.
Like I said, he's pretty justified to walk away from that conversation.
Well, she didn't see the episode as it aired because they had a show. Chicago has a show tonight, so she probably will watch it tomorrow.
She's too busy.
Because I think they're off on Wednesdays. But if I was Ariana, I'd crack up at that, too. Like,
yeah.
Fuck yeah, pee on that bush.
Pee on that bush. Fuck
Hell yeah. Fuck that guy.
And just like that, The episode ended on a cliffhanger. We have to be continued. I'm not really sure. They could have just ended the episode there. I'm kind of curious to see what else is yet to come from that.
Well, they'll do emo night, and we'll see if when Ariana comes back from emo night, if she calls the cops, because he said that he'd be done by midnight. And so if she comes home past midnight and they're still partying.
Oh, that's going to be fucking crazy. I forgot about that already.
I kind of hope she comes home before midnight and then goes upstairs to go to bed and just sits and waits, because I would do this. I would just sit and watch my phone and wait for it to hit midnight. And if I'd give them to 12:05. And if
that's generous.
If by 12:05 you're still partying the fuck out, I'm going to text your assistant. I'm going to text and be like, hey, he's still partying. I'm calling.
He's got like 30 seconds.
He's got 30 goddamn seconds.
Before I hit call.
Yep. I would text whoever is, because obviously, or it's somebody, he's got 30 seconds.
I'd break his white noise machine.
Hell yeah. But I'm curious to see how that's going to go down, because Ariana does not seem to give two shits. She allowed you the party. She gave you the grace to have the party, and the least you can do is be done at the time you agreed upon. And she's going to follow through.
It was his idea.
Yes, but she's going to follow through. She's going to follow through. Hell yeah. I hope she does. I hope to be hysterical.
Maybe that's why we got the to be continued.
Probably. We'll see.
It.
Which and the party still go. It just started when James got there, so we still have. I'm sure he's gonna go to emo night and tell the girls, because that's where they were going, and tell the girls what happened, and Ariana, and they'll talk some shit, and then they'll go home and talk some more shit, and maybe call the police.
Just for funsies,
If I was the patrol officer that had to respond to that, I would kill myself. Really. Like, imagine having to be the officer that has to go and deal with that. Like, that sucks.
It's a domestic dispute.
It's a fucking... That's so annoying. That's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. It'd be like, 911, how can I help you? Yeah, my ex-partner, we agreed to have the party over by midnight. It's still going on. I need just an officer here. The officer gets a call and is like...
Okay.
You're fucking shitting me.
Like, I'm in Hollywood. There's a robbery going on right now.
I don't get paid enough for this shit. Although I'm sure most of the calls, like, in the Valley are, like, really petty shit like that.
Maybe.
It's the Valley, you know what I mean? It's probably, like, neighborly disputes and, like, shit like that.
Some crazy wild parties.
Oh, yeah. He always complains. The neighbors, the lights. Oh, imagine.
Oh, the lights.
The free speech. It's under free speech.
Oh, my God.
Fucking moron.
I can't.
Wow, well, that's where the episode ended.
And this is where we leave you.
Yeah.
But if you like this video, definitely like us, subscribe. Follow us on Patreon.
Yes.
Follow us
on Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram. We're on Instagram now. We don't have a
TikTok yet, but we also individually have TikToks.
We do individually.
Mine's majority Taylor Swift, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, but we'll probably end up getting on TikTok.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
As of right now, we are streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. So we are on a few platforms now since we last saw you, and we're pretty excited. So give us a listen. Watch us on YouTube and Spotify. Yeah. We are up for a listen.
Send us your comments. Not complaints. Be nice to me. Your comments, the questions, things you want us to talk about. Any tea that you see during the week, hit us. Send it, DM it.
Yep, send it straight to us. We want to see it. We want to read it. We want to hear about it.
Yes.
We want to chat about it.
Give us your opinions.
Yeah, give us your opinions. I definitely want to know what you guys are thinking on top of what we're thinking. Please help validate us and let us know if we're crazy or not. Very likely that we are, but I still want to know anyway.
I don't think there's one person in the world that's not crazy in some sort of way. Like, I think everyone's a little weird.
Yeah.
Otherwise it'd be boring if you're not a little weird.
We're all mad here.
Yeah. That's that. That's Alice in Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. But thank you guys again for another wonderful Vanderpump week, and we are excited for the next one.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.